So hi guys, it's Precious Bria. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another recap or review of Martha's Vineyard Summer House. And this is episode 7. Jumping right in, we know that we ended off with Shanice coming out. She shows her boobs to everybody. And I'm happy that the episode started with this because I think that it just sets the tone and kind of just back to what I said about the last episode. I thought that this experience was going to be fun, and it's so serious. And Shanice said this several times during this. Well, Shanice said this during this episode a little bit later on, but it's just like so serious. You're on vacation. If I went on a vacation, and I can be a fairly serious person or whatever, if I went on vacation and it was like all of these house meetings and just like so much serious stuff going on. Anyway, she comes out, she's naked. They ask, why did she do it? She goes, because I thought it was funny. It's only titties. It's not that deep to me. Whatever. We see that she apologized to Bria about being naked in front of Simon. I thought that was like, I thought it was unnecessary. I think that that's the type of relationship that they had, and Bria's just dramatic, and she picks and chooses when she wants to be upset. I just think if we were naked around each other's boyfriends in the past, like, why would this one be different? That's just what I would assume. But whatever. So Jasmine brings up the conversation that needs to happen, or that they want to happen, between Alex and Shanice. Now, when Jasmine brought it up to Shanice and Shanice said, I want to have the conversation at another time, I thought that it was very whack of Jasmine to then say it to everybody. I also think that she did that maliciously. I think that she wanted Shanice to be in the spotlight, or Shanice to be in the hot seat because of what she just did as far as like showing her breast or whatever. Everybody fake had an issue with it or whatever. Nobody even said nothing to Shanice, even though she ends up leaving the next day. It's just like everything is an issue and it's no fun. And I want to be very clear. I understand how that can be a boundary or a line that you don't cross in somebody's relationship. I want to make that clear. So Jordan makes it clear. Jordan jumps in, and I feel like she contradicted herself so much. First she goes, they need to have a conversation separately. Then it seemed, I guess behind the scenes, everybody like pushed for the conversation to happen in front of everybody. Let me just say one thing. Back to what Preston said, either last episode or the episode before. When you have a conversation with somebody about something that they did that you didn't necessarily agree with, that you didn't like, whatever the case may be, if other people side with either party, it can easily feel like somebody is being attacked. So I'm happy that Jason brought up the villainized comment. Like every time somebody does something in the house, it seems like you villainize them. And everybody makes mistakes. And I 100% agree with that. It's just like these constant blow ups of somebody doing something, not being this perfect person, and then everybody is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that, and blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden they're the bad guy. And it's like, is there no room for mistakes? Did you have to be perfect? And it seems like, you have Silas, who has realized that people are making him the bad guy, which he is, because he wants to walk around like he's the man in command. And then you have Jordan strolling right behind him. Between Silas and Jordan, there was never going to be any fun in the house. And I'm just like over all of them. And I want to be very clear. If you're looking for me to talk about Silas and Jasmine and their boring ass sleepy Silas and boring Jasmine, if you're looking for me to say something about them, I'm not. I'm so ready for them to be gone. And I get that they're the ones that invited everybody. I'm ready for them to be gone. I don't want them to come back if there is a second season. I think they're very boring. I don't care about their relationship. It's giving grandma, it's giving grandpa. And I get that, like, I get that some people need to see how to navigate marriages and how this might be beneficial to other people. But you could have picked a fun couple. You could have picked somebody who was going through stuff, a fun couple. Alex and Nick Googled everybody in the house. I think that in these types of situations, I think it would have been best if, like, most of the time you do have to be invited by a friend, but I think it would have been more fun had they not given them the names of everybody that was on the show. Even when you have shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac, they don't really know for sure who's going to be on the show and who's not going to be on the show. Obviously, they can talk about it amongst themselves when they get their contracts or whatever, but they don't know for sure who all is going to be on the show until they film with people. And so I think that that's the route that they should take with these shows. Now, obviously, if they have, if, like, let's say if they have a season 2, they have a group chat and everybody comes to see who's on the show, but throw some spice in there. They shouldn't have known the names of anybody to be able to Google. Now, obviously, once you get there, they still have access to their phones, so they can still Google some stuff and come up. But I think that that would make it a lot more spicy. Tip to Bravo. Don't tell them who's going to be on the show before the show. Let them find out and figure it out from there. That's a part of the interesting part of it all. I'm not mad that they necessarily Googled everybody, even though, although I just think that you have to be very, very mindful that the way that you say things can come off a certain way, even if that wasn't your intention. I say a lot of things and people take it the way they take it. And I understand that that might have not been my intention for that person to be offended, but that's just the reality of what happened. And I think that, you know, Alex went on there. He presents as this like really good, quiet, kumbaya guy. But I think that when, especially when we talk a little bit later about the little slick comments that he said to Jordan, that he might have seen as flirting but came off very creepy. Just be mindful about what you say. And I think that specifically when it comes to like comments that men make towards women, a lot of the times they don't care that it makes it makes you uncomfortable. um but me, be mindful is the point. You could have Googled, you could have kept that to yourself. We didn't need to know that. And if you felt some type of way about her, you could have also kept that to yourself, because it wasn't something that needed to really, it could have easily not been a thing. But whatever. And Shanice obviously made it clear that she wanted to have a conversation one-on-one. It seems like everybody keeps pushing Shanice to have these deep conversations with people, specifically Alex, excuse me. And Shanice wants to do it on her own time. That girl, she's a grown woman. Why are you pushing her to do something as if she can't make her own decisions? I mean, she's made it this far. Why does she need y'all to hold her hand and spoon feed her and stuff? Like, I just think that's so stupid. So then we kind of, so the conversation dwells down, and I feel Alex comes back, and they're able to just figure out that you know, the way Alex went about it maybe wasn't the best way, and they feel like he should have brought it up to Shanice. I think he could have kept it to himself from the beginning, because who gives a fuck what you think about somebody else? Like, what you eat does not make her shit, right? What does that have to do with you? If she was a stalker, you never dated her, you found out she's a stalker, you don't want to date her, don't date her. Like, why is that such a hard concept? Okay, moving on. You don't like her, fine. It didn't really need to be this thing at all, in my opinion. And again, it seemed like she didn't really want to talk about it. So it's messed up that this was even brought up, because that was obviously a really traumatic time for her. She said that the boy was lying. She said that she was getting death threats. So I hated that for Shanice altogether. So moving on to, they finished the lunch. They have dinner. Dinner was good. So they were having a conversation, and Jordan was basically like, I take what I say seriously. I said that I was celibate, and I actually didn't engage in any sexual activities throughout the year. So for you to try and insinuate that me and Preston are having sex, now the reason she was triggered, I think that she just wanted an opening or whatever, because the truth is, we've seen Preston has made it clear that he's queer. I don't know exactly what queer is, so I'm not going to get into that. He said then later on that he is gay. He has a boyfriend that he is in a committed relationship with, right? So they're not having sex, even if they did sleep in a bed together. So I don't really know why Alex even decided to comment on that, to be quite honest. But yeah, didn't really like it. Jordan did pose for Playboy. She did pose for Playboy naked to I know sometimes you can be like a bikini, which is still sexy, but not the same as like completely naked, apparently. I don't know. I haven't seen it. This is what the show is saying. I don't know. I haven't seen it. This is what the show is saying. I am all for a woman should be able to present however she wants to present. And as a man, you still respect her because she's a human being, right? A lot of the times men take you for face value and they act like there's nothing else behind that. She has this body, her body is sexy, right? So now she's just like a sexual being. And it's like, no, she might have a sexual side that she taps into, or not. Or this could just be your perception of things. You have to be mindful that, first of all, consent is consent. Not that he did anything that wasn't, well, if she made it clear she's not interested, then you should stop. But um and boundaries are boundaries. I don't think that men understand how, and maybe I can put it in, if a man is watching this and you're confused and you want to combat me, this is a perfect example. Imagine if you have two women that are flirting with you, right? Two women that are flirting with you. One, you think is drop dead gorgeous, you think she's sexy, you think she's smart, all of the things, and they both say, wow, you look so handsome today. Oh, I love when you walk by and I can smell your cologne. Right? They both say that to you. Now, this other woman is someone who you do not find attractive. You do not find sexy. You're just not attracted to her, we'll say. She's just not attractive to you. You are not attracted to her. When the woman that you think is attractive speaks to you and says that, it's warm, it's welcoming, you love it, right? You'll give her a hug, she don't gotta ask. As opposed to the other woman who you might not want her to touch you, you might want her to stay away from you. That's how disgusting it feels when you get unwelcoming advances towards men, right? And so you gotta feel the temperature. We're at an age where I appreciate a man if you are blunt. Come out to me and say exactly what it is. Do you like me? Is this something that you want? Say stuff like that, because at least you know what it is. And if she says no, I don't like you, don't play the oh no is yes game. And so I understood exactly what Jordan was saying with that. And it's unfortunate that she had to go through that, and she felt as if nobody was there to help her, and she felt as if nobody was there to help stand up for her. And I've definitely been in uncomfortable situations and people just stand around and they watch, and it's like, I didn't say anything because I was scared, but you would think that if there was another man there, that somebody would have common sense to stop some things, and a lot of the times they don't. They really don't. And so I feel for Jordan, and I hope that going forward, everyone on the cast learned a lesson on how to better support their peers and such, because that was heartbreaking to watch. And I think that, Alex is, from the beginning, I told you guys it was something about Alex. I mean, I think that he's handsome, but the more that everything plays out, and they did kind of make him the villain this episode, but the more everything plays out, I'm just kind of like, ugh, with him. The phone call that he had about the music thing in the beginning, I thought that he didn't want to say that his cousin was John Legend, just because he didn't really, some people don't really want to be associated with somebody's success. But I think it was strategic how he did it, and he wanted that to come out that way. I also think that he wants to be in the music industry, and a lot of the times, people think they can sing, and if you think they're cute, you tell them they can sing and they can't sing. And I've seen that happen a lot of times, and I'm not the one to judge the singing contest to determine who can sing and who can't sing, but it's a lot of people out here that cannot sing, and just because they cute, y'all give them a pass and tell them they can. That's all I'm gonna say. But we'll see. He's supposed to be performing next week. Can Alex sing? Can he not sing? Right now, it's giving hell no. But I guess we'll see next week. And also, okay, this is something else that I wanted to say about the whole Jordan situation. As a woman that is curvier and busty, whatever you want to call it, I know that men see you, and it doesn't matter what you wear, right? You might be like, well, Precious, she posed butt naked and da 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 da. It doesn't matter what you wear. It does not matter how you present yourself. If I was dressed as a nun, it would be some nasty man that would come up to me and say something wild because he's always had a fantasy because of corn about having sex or having sexual relations with a nun. So now he's saying some wild things to me, especially as a Black woman. The disrespect is on like 1,000% half of the time. It's like mind blowing to me, the types of situations that I've been in, which is wild because I am purposefully standoffish when it comes to men because to me they're very scary. They're very scary. If you're by yourself, they're scary. If you're even with a group of people, they're scary. They're very grapey. They say a lot of things that make you very uncomfortable, and you're just supposed to just let it ride. If she was on the cover of a magazine, again, fully clothed, it would be some idiot somewhere that would say something that made that woman feel uncomfortable if given the chance to be in her space, because that's just a pattern that and I'm sure many other women have seen. And so, again, as a man, it's your responsibility to be mindful of the things that you say, the things that you do, and understand that your intent might not always come across the way it is. Now, according to Alex, he was just trying to be playful and funny, but that's not how it came off. That is not how it came off. Sometimes, I mean, I've been in situations where sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to say something because this is ridiculous. And then other times it's like, is this even a fight that I want to fight? Because I know that I'm just going to be gaslit in this moment. And I just really felt for Jordan in that time. As a woman, I can think of a lot of examples where I was made to feel very uncomfortable by men, and people stood around and they watched, and no one ever said anything. And then even if I did say something, it still wasn't. It still somehow was my fault for existing and being a woman, and so I feel bad for Jordan. I felt for all of the women that has been in Jordan's situation, including myself. And she was labeled by all of the men in the house. In the beginning, Silas made it very clear that she was the party friend. And I'm like, no, your wife was a party girl, if that's how you want to put it. It's just ridiculous how women get all of these nasty labels. If a man went out and he was like a partier, you would call him the life of the party, and it would be a great thing, right? But when a woman does it, now it's a bad thing, and I want my wife to stay away from her. And it's just like, I mean, I said I wasn't going to talk about Silas and Jasmine, but we see how things are going for Jasmine, and how miserable she truly is. And another thing that I just want to throw in it, even though I said I was going to talk about them, is she said, I don't think we could stand the test of time. They're not. They're going to be divorced. And I'll be surprised if they don't have a lot of relationship issues. Simply because of the show, because Silas he's a fucking drag is what he is. He's a drag, and Jasmine is low-key right along with him. And, two miserable people together. Anyway, back to the Jordan situation. She then went in on Amir, and I felt like Amir did not deserve that. I don't think that Amir did anything wrong. I think Amir expressed his interest in Jordan, and all of the men took it upon themselves to move back. He never said, y'all better step back, y'all better not talk to her. He was just kind of like, I'm interested in her. I think that the way he went about courting her was very respectful. I don't think that, from what I've seen on the camera, and it was editing, right? From what I've seen, I feel like he was very respectful. I don't feel like he did anything that was like wild and out there. So it was really unfortunate that she went on him the way that she did. Everything else, though, I agree with, right? I didn't like the Amir part because I just feel like Amir just kind of got caught up in that. He didn't really do anything wrong. But the rest of them, yeah, disgusting. Jordan later had a conversation with her dad, basically saying, I didn't like how I was claimed and they pissed on me and nobody else wanted to talk to me. I just didn't understand why she really cared if she made it clear that she didn't want to date. Like, like, what do you want? And at that point, like, even though I understood what she said in the beginning, towards the end, it kind of gave you just looking for something to talk about. You just wanted to be the center of attention. You just wanted to be upset with something. Say your grievances. Like what she said in the beginning was 100% valid, but don't just drag it on and try and drag everybody just because. And the truth is, if you want to be honest, even though Nick, he cosplay as a single man when he first got into the house. He's in a relationship. Then you have really the only two single people. Maybe Phil would have been single, but he was there for a hot second. So you have Alex, and then you have Amir, and then who else is there? Preston dates men, it seems like. And then you have Silas, who is married, and then who else is there for you to date? So the two people that were single, they tried to talk to you. What else did you want? And I'm not going against her. I'm just saying, like, make what you said make sense, and don't make it seem like you just wanted a little quick moment for the TV. So we see that Nick is talking to his mystery girlfriend, who should be very embarrassed, and I really hope that they are not still in a relationship, because what he did was whack as hell, and I don't honestly think that it's worth it, but whatever. Silas and Jasmine, snooze fest. Then you have Jordan, who is so serious. I just don't really think that this is the platform for her. Because it doesn't really feel like she had a good time. She might have, but it don't really seem like it from my point of view, the viewer's point of view. Not that I stand for every viewer, but it don't seem like she had that much fun. And I thought that this was fun for fun. I think Shanice is a good time. I think with some other cast members, this could have been a lit fun. A lot of kikis, a lot of like funny, just silly moments. I think Bria is good TV. Now, Bria did sleep this whole episode, and I don't know if in the other summer house they were in a bed half of the season too. So I mean, y'all should make that a rule that they can't sleep in bed all day. But anyway, Bria is good TV. Who else? Summer. Summer is just kind of fading to the background. I think Jason, would be good TV too. He got a lot of little smart comebacks that are funny. I think Preston was kind of like the calm person, kind of just there, honestly. I think I liked Amir. I think he was okay. I think Alex is blah. Nick is just boring too. The only mix that he got is that he cosplay and had a girlfriend. I mean, he cosplay as a single man and then came out with a girlfriend. And who else is there? I think I said everybody. I think Phil would have been good TV, but he should have came on a little bit more calm. I liked Mariah, but Mariah was a little boring too, aside from her Bria fight. So I don't know. I just think that they could have did a better job. What it's giving is maybe they picked Silas and Jasmine. I don't know how, and they had them invite their friends. Maybe that's what happened. Or maybe they thought, oh, it would have already been a fan base because some of the girls were in Playboy or whatever, and you'd be able to. I don't know what it was, but they could have done better at picking the cast, if you ask me. If y'all need some help, call me. I got you. Not call me to be on the show, but call me. I'll help you pick out some good people. We're gonna end it there. It's almost the season finale. I'm excited to see the reunion. I love reunions, so I'm excited to see the reunion. Not really super excited to see the last episode because again, it's giving very much so blah. This is always also a really fast season. Usually I feel like they have 1,000,001 episodes, so I don't really know why this one was so short. I mean, what is this, like the 7th or the 6th? So it's only gonna be like 8 episodes? That's ridiculous. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely come back to see my recap for next week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And bye guys.